everyone, and today we are going to talk about two main data types in Python, and we are going to talk about numeric types and also sequential types. So in this scenario, let us start by creating just a little file here. I can use the main.py so that things can be easy. Alright, so we are going to start with the numeric types. Under numeric types, we have what we call integers in Python. So an integer, we have integer data type, and integers are just whole numbers without a decimal. That is an integer. For example, I can say like this: age is equals to 20. So having written like that, age here is a variable that is carrying a data type here of 20, which is an integer. So we can say age is equals to 20, age being an integer, 20 being an integer, age being a variable. If you have watched my previous video, you already know what variables are. From there, you have what we call float types. You can see even it is indicating that 20 is an integer. So a floating point is or a float data type is a type that the number has a decimal, or the numbers in float has a decimal. For example, I can say 20.5. Now the data type here changes from being an integer to a float. You can see even I have that suggestion. So the number changes from being an integer to a float. That is how we determine between an integer and a float. So we also have another data type that is known as complex numbers and numeric data type. So let me give you an example of a complex number. I can even try to write it here. I can just say complex number so that it can be easier for us to understand. So a complex number, I can say it's a number like you can say 5 plus, okay, like that. Let me take out the is equals. So we can say it is 5 plus 6j. So this is a complex data type in Python, because it is not very easy to find something like this. That is why we have 6j here. 6j indicates that this is a complex data type in Python. So from there, let me teach you the next step of Python data type, which is sequence types. As I promised, a sequence type is we start with the strings. So I'll start by writing the variable name is equals to, and I indicate a single quote, and I say something like John. So the data type that is being carried by the variable name is a string. This one here, this is a string. John is a string. So in Python is not like Java. In Python, if you use single or quote or double quote or triple quote, whenever you are indicating a certain word or number, that number remains to be a string, unlike Java. So that is how we indicate a string. From there, you have something else known as a list, and in a list, we say that the data type, the list data type has what we call ordered and immutable collection of items. So I can say list like that is equals to, this is actually how we create a list. So you will note that in a list we try to use the two brackets that are like this. I can say list is equals to, now here inside I can indicate some names, maybe like that, and yes, like that. Let me add some others here to showcase our list. I can write something like Bob, like that. Yeah, like that. That is a full list, and a list is normally mutable. A list is a very mutable thing. So that is how you create a list, and that is what we call a list data type, and it is mutable, meaning you can add using the append or withdraw some things. I won't show you that in this video. Make sure to check out my next video in order to see that. So from that, we have other other data type or other data type under the sequence, which is known as a tuple or a tuple. So this is how we write it. This is how we write it. Yeah, that is this is how we write a tuple. So for a tuple, they are not mutable, these are immutable. Note that for a tuple they are immutable, and also for a tuple most of the time we use this kind of brackets. Just a minute. So for a tuple we use this kind of brackets whenever we are creating it. So we use this kind of bracket whenever we are creating a tuple. So tuples are immutable, or a tuple is immutable, meaning you cannot add something or withdraw using the append. So once you create a tuple, it doesn't change. Alright, so from there we have what we call range, and a range represents a sequence of characters often used in loops. So in my previous video about the network tool, I used a range somewhere. Make sure to check out that video in order for you to see what I used, how I used that range. So for a range we can say like this. I would have just said here like this. So we can say number is equals to a range like that, and now inside the two bracket here we give our range, maybe 1 to 30. So that is how we create that is how we have a range data type, as simple as that. So I hope you have learned something. Remember, I'll be bringing you the next data types in Python and also explaining them further. There are various things that you need to learn, and thank you for your time. See you in my next video.